As a young girl growing up in Ghana, I had always looked forward to what my life as an adult would look like. I was never a person, so the idea of adulthood was something that always excited and made me a little bit anxious. But of course, as I got older, I came to understand the importance of patience and why it's important to enjoy the process regardless of what stage of life that you're in. My name is Aisha Addo, founder of Power to Girls Foundation and My Power app. And today I would like to share why embracing change contributed to the person that I am today. So my journey started at 13, going on 14. And if any of you have teenagers in your house or you are a teenager yourself, you would understand why that period is vital to a young girl's life. These are the moments where her body starts to change. She begins to experience new emotions and her hormones kick into overdrive. And as if that's not enough, there's a lot that is also happening within her. And for me, that was when my story began. Starry eyed, body changing, hormones raging. I found out that my current life was about to shift into something new and unknown. At 14, I found out I would be moving to Canada. Excitement mixed with fear, I packed my bags and ventured into a new world. For all I know, that could have been the end of me, and it almost became the end of me as I knew it. My first taste of change occurred when I realized that I was in a foreign country. Language was not a barrier, but I was reminded of my otherness, from teachers bullying you to students causing you to question your identity and your roots. Fast forward 1 year later, at the peak of my teenage life, another change uprooting me from the comforts that I had become accustomed to into another unknown. I am in foster care. A product of the system, I was reminded that my childhood desires of wanting to become adults were quickly becoming a reality that I wasn't quite prepared for. The reality of raising myself didn't sink in until a year after my stay. My foster mom called me and said, Aisha, the system expects of you only three things. One is to become a high school dropout. Two is to become a drug addict. And three, to end up as a young mother. Now, none of these options were what young Aisha had dreamed up for herself. And that was when it dawned on me that change is sometimes inevitable, but it is what you do with the opportunities, whether good or bad, that are laid before you, does your real journey start. I share these as a foundation to how I became the person that I am today. Of course, there are other defining moments as I navigate life, but it is with these moments that cemented my quest for more and what set me off on my journey of becoming a change maker. 6 months after our talk, I decided to start my journey towards adulthood. I asked to be taken out of the foster home and given the liberty to venture into adulthood and to becoming an independent youth, accepting my fate that this is what the cards had laid out for me. I decided I wanted to write my own story and not allow the definitions of other people become my reality. I was on a journey of rediscovery, but that was, and I was prepared to embrace change however it showed up. At 17, I graduated high school and prepared for another milestone. I applied to college, not sure of the path I wanted to take, but very, very sure that I didn't want anything less than what I was capable of. So I decided to study accounting. Now, no offense to all the amazing accountants out there, but I felt like I was too young to have life sucked out of me, despite how good I was at accounting. And my thoughts were actually proven true when, in my second year, my professor walked into our lecture and boldly stated, "Everything I am teaching you here today will be needed in the real world, but I am required to teach you because it's in the curriculum." I looked around the class and noticed everyone was going on about their days, oblivious to the statement that I had just made. And I realized that he was probably specifically talking to me. And I thought to myself, well, why are we paying tuition? I completed my accounting program, and in between my studies, I found my passion. I found my reason to create change. The reason is to be the person that I desperately needed as a young girl. I didn't want to see any young girl experience any of the things that I went through, and that desire birthed Power to Girls Foundation. Over the years, we have impacted over 5,000 girls across Canada and Ghana, and we continue to inspire change makers and leaders in our day-to-day activities by providing safe spaces for girls through programs in personal development, mental health, mentorship, entrepreneurship, leadership, and STEM programs. What have I learned throughout this experience? And what keeps me going is in recognizing the following. One, the power is always in your hands. You are capable of so much more than you give yourself credit for. Two, do not let anybody else define you. Find your path and stick to it. Three, we all have stories, experiences, unfortunate incidents that show up to rock our worlds. However, every decision you make in life determines the outcome that you receive. Every decision you make in life determines the outcome you receive. And finally, when in doubt, believe in yourself. So, you might be wondering, where does change start from? Change starts with you. It starts with your desire for wanting more for yourself, for wanting more for your community, for your family, and for your country. It starts with not being content with the status quo. It starts with your daydreams of what the future can bring. Change starts in the mundane things of everyday life, the not so glamorous aspect of our lives, the routines that we have become so comfortable with. Change starts when you believe that you are capable. It doesn't mean it will not come with its share of challenges. It will, but you do not become the full extent of who you are meant to be without going through the metamorphosis of life. So, when you finally reach your destination, wherever that might be, do not forget to look back. Do not forget to look behind you and pull the ones that are coming after you. Because as we also know, change comes from mentorship and experience. And it comes from giving yourself the space to learn from other people to become an evolved version of yourself. We do not have all the answers, and the road to success is never linear. So, when asked, how do I do it? My response will always be, I am not satisfied with the bare minimum, and that is what makes me an agent of change. Thank you.